All right, let's get to some breaking news because after 12 state attorneys general sued to pause the $110 billion merger between Paramount Skydance and Warner Bros., a judge has just granted a temporary restraining order on that deal. Let's go live now to our justice reporter Jake Rosen for much more about this. Hey, Jake, so what went into the judge's decision?
Well, it was a very brief one, Mugo, just a couple of pages, but this judge said that at least upon the initial arguments that were put in court last week and in paperwork over the last week or two, that the states proved that there's at least a likelihood of success on some points that they were arguing. The biggest one is the monopoly part and the theater and movie function that these companies would potentially corner the market on if this merger were to be approved and not blocked by either this judge or any other regulatory panel. This judge said that just based on evidence, it would be about 27% of the theater and movie market in the United States would be cornered by whatever the resulting company is as a result of this Paramount and Warner Brothers merger. She says that in and of itself is enough evidence to go on for this temporary pause. We should emphasize this is only going to be for 14 days. There'll be a hearing in early August to decide the next steps of this. The states are likely to pursue a preliminary injunction, which would likely go on for 60 or 90 days, or as the case gets litigated out. But this certainly puts a pause on what was likely to happen tonight at 12:01 if the judge did nothing, which would be that potentially these two sides would have at least the legal go-ahead to merge. And we should also just remind our audience that this lawsuit was brought by a number of state AGs who argued that across the board there's going to be, once this gets to trial or potentially a bigger decision, some kind of comprehensive proof that there is some kind of monopoly here. Talking about journalism jobs, talking about movie jobs, cornering industries in different states. That's why so many states are part of this lawsuit. However, just in kind of this emergency function that this judge worked in, it was a very limited decision, basically saying this is a 14-day pause. She'll get likely more briefing in the next couple of days and then have another hearing with more evidence presented by Paramount and presented by the states next week.
All right, we'll see what happens. Jake Rosen, thank you so much for your time today. And of course, we should note that CBS News is owned by Paramount Skydance.